Hey, what's up YouTube? Here's David DBEE. Welcome back into another video. And again, 2 month break. Sorry about that, but we are back with today's video with I never do this type of content, but I really never look at patch notes. And this will give me an excuse to actually look at the patch notes and make content at the same time. So these videos could be a bit longer, could be a bit, I don't know, less just gameplay focused, less me just talking about the game. Actually more me just talking about the game rather than me, like, I don't know, showing you guys things about the game or teaching you how to play certain gods or whatever, or showing you certain gameplays. This is just me reading through the patch notes, giving my opinions, giving my thoughts, maybe some ideas. If you're interested, cool. If you're not interested, that also cool. But anyhow, enough of the intro. I'm back, and I don't know how. I don't know. I can't promise uploading because right now my life with my work is just I have no time to record during the day, and I work nights basically. So it's a lose-lose situation when it comes to recording for me. Anyhow, today my day off. Let's just go with the patch notes. So 8.8. And we're getting a new Greek god. Oh, I thought she would be Roman. Okay, she's Greek. I only saw her, but okay, she's Greek. Her attack speed will. This is her passive, yeah. Her attack speed increases as her tide increases. Successful basic attack hits increase her tide. I don't know how to pronounce this name, so I'm not even good about it. Deals less damage with each item effect procs. So building like poly on her isn't worth it then? I'm not sure about that. I know nothing about the god. Maybe there's gameplay out there, maybe there isn't. But I know nothing, and I'm only basing off these patch notes. I literally know nothing about her. Also, is she magical or... No, she's a hunter, never mind. So, Hydras maybe won't proc or something, I don't know. Or will proc less effectively, I have no clue. But anyhow. Spike shot. She reveals the Moai fires large spikes in a short duration, dealing basic attack damage. Wait, so her 1 will deal basic attack damage, so crit instantly, somewhat viable maybe. These projectiles pass through the minions and are wider and faster than normal basic attacks. On hitting enemy gods, walls, and spikes, they're dealing additional damage. Just from the description, that could be like Jingwei's 2, I believe. Just, a little bit different. Capsize. Actually, no, screw it. I'm gonna make a separate video just about the god, and I'm gonna look if there's any gameplay of her or something. So let's ignore the god for now. Let's go into the skins, because holy crap, these skins are sick. All these skins, I think, are goated already. Like, Hi-Rez or Titan Forge, whatever you want to call them, is doing such a good job with skins in the past year, which is incredible. So this Ravana skin would go to in my eyes. Any like ice cream skin is just fun. You can't hate on it. It's just fun. Capri fits perfect. Sobek gets just a space skin. Pretty standard, nothing special, just looks cool. Her skins, these are just her beginner skins, so they won't be too special. They're alright. Ra gets another skin. Also alright, this freaking Karo skin is so cool. This is cool, man. And the new tier 5, I don't know who asked for it, but we're bringing Yu-Gi-Oh! To SMITE, which is nice. That's a little joke. Classic Bacchus is back. Zhangqi, who asked for the skin? I have no clue, but I love it. This Heimdallr skin, just badass as hell. Another Thanatos skin, okay. Okay, another Thanatos skin. But this Yorm skin, I'm mainly looking forward to this Yorm skin, because this looks cool as shit. What is here? I don't know. Updates, quarter midnight event, okay. Quality of life, they're changing rank leaderboards. Well, not changing, but like just fixing them, which is, I think, another plus. One problem with SMITE in general is they don't fix a lot of old things. They just keep releasing new things to make money, which is kind of scummy. I understand they need to make money to, keep their employees. I'm aware of that. But just they're slowly beginning to fix some issues from the past, but I believe they need to focus a little bit more on. For example, leaderboards, god borders, clans are still like they're there, but they're not the same as they were. Like, you get me? It's basically they just keep on trying to chuck new things into the game, but slowly fix the issues. But they gotta make money somehow. I get it. Bug fixes, roll trade, fix the issue where the roll trade can sometimes not swap when accepted. Okay, that'll be a nice quality of life. Sure, we're not properly load the card art. I don't know. I don't care about spectator things. Drugger. Okay. Fix an issue where the drugger knockup ignores knockup immunities. Okay, that's gonna be useful. Some god changes. Fix texture issues on Galactic Invader skin. Not really. Okay. Necromancer skin will no longer T-pose in lobby. Oh, goated. Fix an issue where certain skins would have animation properly on victory defeat. Okay, Giannis. Whatever. Okay. Here comes the main reason I want to make this video. Game mode changes. The Season 3 map is returning. I'm finally going to play Ranked again. And I'm going to finally play Joust again, I should say more precisely. The reason there wasn't also uploads recently was because I was not motivated playing the new Joust map. I absolutely despise it. I hate it. Nostalgia won me over. The map is not that good in my opinion. Personally, I just don't like it. It's just I just don't like it personally. I don't like the way it's set up. I don't like how you need such good buff management. English. You need such good buff management. Shit, I can't even English today. This is what 2 months of not recording does do to you. You need very good buff management, or else you're falling behind really, really badly. All the other maps were less punishable. Like you didn't get punished as much for that, which I a little bit more enjoyed because it's just focused on the pure 3v3 concept. You get me? Here on this map, you really need to micromanage everything. There's just too much going on at once, in my opinion. And also, I really enjoy the idea of a Bull Demon King because it's a specific game mode objective that you need to like work around and try to accomplish throughout the match. And it's specific to Joust because of what it does to towers and the Phoenix. And I like that aspect of the game because it's something that it's something that like distinguishes the map between other game modes in my opinion, which was kind of cool. And it made the game faster also. There was no camping. They tried to fix the camping issue on this map by reducing the Phoenix HP regen, but I still didn't think it was good enough, and I still believed when I played the games they were really slow. The one thing about Joust, why it's so popular is because it's 3v3, so you need less friends to play the game mode, and it's fast. And with this I wouldn't even call this a new map, but with the map that they just added, the old Season 2 map, it was a step back in my opinion. But anyhow, it's just my opinion. I'm not a fan of the map. That's it. It's nostalgia, great map. Nostalgically loved playing when it first came out, but just all the other maps, in my opinion, just were better. Nothing else. They just were better. So they're bringing back the Season 3 map, which I really like. That's the map where I got my Masters board on, so I can't really hate on the map. I loved playing it, and it was very fun. But you cannot buy Deathstoll and Benevolence on this map, which is interesting. So we'll see how stats on this map will change a little bit. Also, the increased XP split bonus is changed, which we'll see how that affects it. But I like the little quality of life where you can, for the blue buff and for your Bull Demon, you're allowed to like attack it as soon as it spawns, so there's no longer a delay, which just makes life just a little bit easier, a little bit faster. I'm actually really excited about that change. And the out of combat speed boost from the fountain, that's something that have been added recently in the recent seasons, which I think is a great just makes the map just flow smoother. That's how I'm gonna put it. It just makes everything easier. The speed buff on the beginning of the game is such a simple yet useful addition, I think. Conquest, okay. Since the mid-season update, jungle buff camps have some more complex interaction, which are slightly adjusting to rules to them. In the next update, you will need to clear and pick up a new enhanced buff to keep that aspect of the buff. And the green buff will no longer freeze enhancements duration. I don't know what that means, if I'm being honest. when it comes to Conquest, when it comes to support buff, I know nothing about it because I don't play support. I didn't even bother researching anything about support buff, but whatever. I'm just gonna skip this because I just don't know what's going on. Recently I've been so just like out of the SMITE bubble, so screw it. Let's move on from this. Buff drop rules. Okay, revert pickup behavior. Pick up an enhanced buff with an enhanced buff equipped. Normal and enhanced effects are refreshed. Okay. Picking up a normal buff with an enhanced buff equipped. Normal effects are refreshed. Okay. Picking up an enhanced buff with a normal buff equipped. Normal. Okay. So basically what you pick up, that will be refreshed. Which, I mean, fair enough. That makes sense, I guess. Support buff will no longer freeze the lifetime duration of enhanced buff effects. Okay. Minions. Fix an issue where the alignment would sometimes ignore enemy gods that enter their line of sight. Okay. Shocker. Added global death sound. Okay, that's just that's interesting because you'll just know when the jogger was killed, which I mean is fair enough. It's kind of like totem, so whatever. Reduces the volume of his intro and death sounds. I don't know. I play with very low like sounds in general. Maybe, and I never noticed his death sounds, so maybe that was an issue. Maybe not. Fish an issue where his knock-up ability could still CC targets who were CC immune to knock-up immune. Okay, that's fair enough. Jogger. Increase the amount of damage mitigation that structure receive from the buff. 5% per stack to 7% per stack. 15 total to 21 in total. That's a nice little buff. Okay. Support start items. Ooh. Bracer's getting a new look, I see. That's interesting. And now his new artwork. Cool, whatever. Increased movement speed aura from 10 to 15%. That's a nice buff. And yeah, just Bracer's getting buffed. That's good to know. Increased cooldown from 110 to 125. So it's getting a nerf here. And decreasing the damage. So Spear is getting a nerf. Okay. It's a solid nerf. I don't see this like being any like ground changing. I still think it's a solid item. It's okay. Charon's coin is getting a nerf, just a little bit of magical power, and it's also for its evolved form. Okay, I personally rarely use Charon's coin. I just don't like stacking it. But slight nerf for it here. Frostbound hammer. Decreased health from 200 to 250. Okay. Decreased movement speed. Okay, I don't agree with this nerf. I don't think Frostbound should have been nerfed in any way. How? Because I think Frostbound is useful on certain gods only. Like very, I wouldn't call it even niche. But there's just a small amount that can use Frostbound consistently and make it really effective. So I think where Frostbound was okay. I genuinely believe it was okay. It's annoying to play against Frostbound, but it isn't an over broken item. Maybe just a health decrease would have been nice, but the actual slow department, I don't think they needed to do that. But screw it, it's a change, whatever. Jade Emperor's Crown, physical power reduction from 20, increase. Okay, so the Jade's getting a buff, slight buff, nothing like ground changing. Increased physical protection 75 to 80. Decreased protection needed per stack or block. Revert. So I don't know if the second part is a nerf or buff, but the first part is clearly a buff. Nemean, I think it's just such an irrelevant item right now. I don't see anybody using this item. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I genuinely haven't seen this item since it got changed. Before, when if you hit it and you took damage from it, that was like perfect Nemean. But it was too perfect, if you get me. It was such a good counter against hunters with Thorns that I guess I understand the change. But it lost, in my opinion, like all of its relevancy. I genuinely haven't seen this item once since that change happened. Bulwark of Hope. Increased magical protection from 60 to 80. That's a good sign because Bulwark is another item that I haven't seen used in such a long time. Like nobody uses this item. The shield provided by Hope will now base 50% of... Okay. 50%. Okay, that's a solid buff. This should increase the popularity of this item by a milestone. Because this is also another forgotten item, basically. This is a Nemean. Okay, I like this. I like this. Increase health, okay. Increase physical protection, increase magical protection, increase passive buff from 2. So, okay, Stonefall, that's a solid buff. That's solid. Again, I don't see this item just instantly rocking up in popularity. Okay, it's got a good buff. It might get a little bit more use, but I don't see that much use. This is like a forgotten item, but like it's such a niche pick item, and it rarely is. Like, when you buy items, you want to maximize your efficiency as much as possible and adjust to the situation as much as possible. With Stone of Fall, it's very rarely that a support will build this, so unless you really, really need it. I'm interested about Blackthorn because it's one of my favorite items. Increase physical power from 35 to 40, buff, and increase health from 300. Okay, so the health is being reverted back to 400. It used to be 400 in Season 4. This item in Season 4 dominated the meta. Like, it was OP. Bringing back the HP, I don't see it also, like, making it as glorious as it used to be. The HP is back where it was. I think it had a little bit more power before. So, it's an item that is... I love the item, personally. I think it's a very, 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 very nice item. And it's very affordable early on because it gives you so much utility as a warrior, for example, with the cooldown, with the MP5, with the HP, and a little bit of power, you get me. But I don't see it returning to its former glory. Like, this item used to be built on everybody. It was so good. Anyhow, so, continuing on. Staff of Meriden, increase the duration of passive. Okay, so that's a buff. Also, I'm not sure what this item even does. If I'm being, I completely forgot what this item even does. But whatever. I build this item usually like 6th or last item. It does something with your ult. That's all I know. Well, I think I mainly build it on like Scylla very, very late game if I'm really like just not bothered. I don't know what to build. I'm like, screw it, throw this in. Why not? Good amount of power. Does something with my ult. Let's go. But that's a buff, so that's a dub. Dominance. Increased basic attack bonus penetration. Okay, that's huge. This on Hunters could be a solid, like a staple, like just solidified now. Like before, this was decent on Hunters. But right now, sorry about that. This could be just like a staple for Hunters because 5% late game is it's huge. Late game, early game, it doesn't matter that much. But late game, 5% huge. And this item already for basic attack Hunters is very, very strong. Vampire Shroud, decrease magical power from 30 to 25, so a nerf here. And decrease health. Okay, so Vamp getting nerfed in general. I don't know, maybe I rarely see Vamp used apart from the lifesteal based mages, so maybe this was needed, maybe not. I haven't seen a lot of Vamp in the recent months to judge that. Like, I would only build like Vamp on Anubis, Zhangqi, your lifesteal based mages. Maybe I should build this on their mages, but maybe this was needed. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Conduit Gem, interesting. Increased magical power from 25 to 30. Conduit Gem got nerfed because it was really, really strong before when Scylla was like dominating the meta. But now they're bringing it back slightly. So we'll see how this works. It's just a 5 power increase, but this could really help some mages clear a little bit better early on. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. Mannequin Scepter. There's now extra forgiveness for health restore when an enemy dies shortly after burn debuff fades. To help this item feel more consistent when spreading burn around multiple targets during early jungle gear. Okay, so a little buff, why not? Bombas Dagger. Increase basic damage to jungle camps from 20 to 25. Increase ability damage on jungle camps from 30. Okay, this will help junglers clear even more. Dagger early on, I already believe was solid enough, but this is gonna make it even better. Hammer, increase cooldown from 10 to 20%. Okay, so Hammer's getting nerfed now. Okay, and it's a revert. Actually, I never noticed. Like I said, this is my first time like in years going through patch notes. So for me, this is new, and I'm trying to how it break down as much information as given, but also I'm learning so much new things because I never knew this happened before. But okay, Bomba Spear no longer provides. Okay, so this will make junglers squishier. Provides 10% penetration, so it's heading towards more of just being a bursty jungler rather than just fighting. Because 200 HP, you might think it's not a lot, but late game, think about this: if a hunter crits you for 800 HP, and you have like that 200 extra HP, you can still live and still potentially kill them afterwards. Because hunters late game. For Hunter's late game, it's just clicking this. It's just this for Hunter's late game. So you want as much opportunity to survive as possible. That is why having even slight HP buffs is nice. But you're getting really bursty with this, so that's kind of good. Protector of the Jungle, increased passive power from 15, so that's a revert. The protection increase remains at 12%, okay. Increased physical and magical power, revert. So this item was nerfed, but is going back to its original state. Okay, fair enough. Spear of the Jungle, increase. So a little buff here. Not too bad. Gilded Hour, this is actually interesting. So it's getting a buff when it comes to price, and the increased attack power is getting increased. That's good. This item used to be really solid, I think like 2 months ago, I believe. Then it kind of fell off, but they're trying to creep it in a little bit again, which is fair enough. War Flag, increased gold reward. I used to like a War Flag, now I just don't use that anymore. Benevolence, actually this is interesting. Decrease the experience in gold earned from any time you gain either a resource or slain from. Okay, so this will be a nerf. The full loss roll also goes on an ally 40 years of you. I have no clue what that does, but okay. And I'm a must. Okay. Decreased damage protection from 4% of your maximum health. Okay, so aminosity. English today. English is not working today. But it's getting nerfed, which I think this item should have been nerfed a little bit sooner, because this is all supports build nowadays. Basically, this is basically killing the backline. With support, you just W key to victory. That's literally how I describe playing Ymir to my friends. If you want to be a good Ymir, W key to victory and build this. Tiamat finally got changes. Decrease magical power scaling, decrease magical power scaling. Ooh. Slight nerf. Tiamat isn't as dominant as she used to be. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. But it's for me right now, it's way easier to deal with a Tiamat than it used to be when she got released. She was busted when she got released, and she was very bugged when she was released. But finally dealing with her, maybe just the experience of playing against her, makes it easier for me to deal with her. And when she got released, I just no one knew how to play against her. But now it's beginning to be a very, very easier. You learn to break down the shield. Then she is not that big of a deal because she's not as much of a threat in her ground stance. When she's in her air stance, it's pretty easy to dodge her abilities if you move correctly. Dodging her ult, her tree is easier to dodge. Her bull charge, that's pretty difficult to dodge. And being able to counter her minions by just stepping on them. I don't think she needs that much, more nerfs than she already got, but okay, maybe I'm full of shit, but for me it's easier to play against her nowadays, and this will make it even easier to lane against her. Ryzen, decreased bonus hit damage. I think Ryzen in general is underpowered, so I don't think that this was a play. Decreasing his damage, this just slow his clear down in general as well. So I don't feel that this was a move. Maybe I'm wrong. I know he's good in Joust. I'm not sure about Conquest because, like I said, me following this game is basically non-existent. So I'm giving you my perspective and my opinion. I don't think he needed a nerf, but okay. Jormungandr, Increased basic attack damage. That'll help him clear in lane. That's actually a little buff. And they're buffing him probably because of the skins, that's why. Increased basic tick, okay, buff because of skin. Of course, they just if you release the skin, they're just gonna buff the god, won't they? If there's a Cthulhu buff, you know why that's buff. Bellona, decreased cooldown, that's a buff. Increased cooldown buff. So Bellona's getting buffed. Nothing groundbreaking, but solid buff. Increased attack speed, small buff. Decreased cooldown, nice buff. The getting her escape cooldowns lower is actually a very nice buff. I won't even lie. Scotty buff. Okay. Sorry about that. Scotty needs her permafrost for that movement speed. Like, it's her only realistic some form of escape, that movement speed. So getting that cooldown is pretty solid. Thought, increased base bonus. Basic attack. Oh, interesting. I don't know. I rarely basic attack with Thought. Obviously, I do mid-fight, but like, this will help his early game clear that little bit more. So that's a very, actually that's huge. 20 for that's early game. That's huge. His early game is gonna be way more solid now. Baba Yaga, Wonder can walk through minions. Okay, that's actually a very nice buff. Increase base damage, son, a nice buff. Decrease cooldown, increase her charge speed. So Arthur's also getting a buff, nice. Increase base damage on the throw. That's actually 210, 240, 30 damage. I mean, Kuzenbo ahead already chunks a lot, so if you manage to like pump stomp with Kuzenbo early on and absolutely bully the enemy duo lane, you will be in a very good position because your damage from the Nene Kappa is going to be even better now. Nisha, decrease cooldown. Flaming Spear, that's our 2. 214 at all ranks. That is a huge buff. That is huge, actually. Okay, Najat's gonna see a little bit more play now. Oh, no Cthulhu buff, okay. So a lot of characters are actually getting buffed, and Tiamat's getting nerfed. Some items are getting solid changes. Okay. This was actually interesting, because like I said before, I don't read these notes myself often, so the only reason I'm doing this because I want to get back into the game, and I want to make content again, so that's interesting actually though. That 14 seconds, I love Najat myself, so I'm going to be playing a lot of her now. Okay, 30-minute video, fair enough. Like I said, this will be a little bit longer. It's just me talking about the game in general. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was your boy DB. Hopefully you guys subscribe and like and comment down below what you think about the new update. And anyhow, I'm going to talk to you guys later. Hopefully I'm going to be on a good uploading streak again. So thanks for watching. Peace out. Goodbye.